Welcome back to WNY Living. Now, nobody works a majority of their life hoping that they will not be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor or that their family will. But unfortunately, that does happen. That's why it's important to understand the ins and outs of estate planning. This morning, happy to have with me from the Stamm law firm, Bradley and Madeline Stamm, to discuss this topic. Thank you both for being back on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Yeah, we love being here.
All right, Madeline, let's start with the Stamm Basic 3. Tell us what that is and why it's important that individuals and clients understand the difference between the three.
So the Stamm Basic 3 are 3 legal documents that we recommend everybody has. It's the basic estate plan, right? So it's a power of attorney, a health care proxy, and a will. So those are 3 very different documents, and that's why we make sure everybody has them to cover all these bases. So the health care proxy is for medical decisions. So you can appoint somebody to make medical decisions for you if you're incapacitated or you're not able to make those medical decisions for yourself, right? It tells the doctor who to call and kind of what you want. It outlines maybe some organ donation, some DNR, things like that. The power of attorney is a very important document in New York State because that is for financial decisions. So while we have the healthcare proxy for medical, we need the power of attorney for financial. So you can appoint somebody to make financial decisions for you if you're incapacitated, or just at your direction. You don't have to be incapacitated, but say you are in a situation where you can't pay your bills or taxes or access your accounts, handle things financially, you need to appoint somebody to do that for you. Nobody just has that power to be able to do that without a power of attorney. And then lastly, a will is very important to have as a basic document. It's not usually our plan A because that means probate, and we'll go into why we try to avoid that. But at the very least, we make sure that everybody has a will, just in case anything does have to go through probate, so that it goes to your beneficiaries and who you want it to go to.
You said a word there that I'm going to ask Brad about, probate. There's a will that designates who gets what, right? Yeah. But why does it have to go to probate, and how can that be avoided?
Probate is something that we help our clients avoid. That's the easiest way to put it, because it should be avoided. The probate process is the court process of having your will approved by the surrogate court. It's very costly. Lawyers and courts can make a lot of money going through that process unnecessarily. Just so your loved ones can get what you want them to have, lawyers and courts make money. And it takes a long time. It's filled with potential problems. People can object to a will. And as a result, you end up in litigation for, it could be years of litigation. So we help clients avoid probate. And how you do that is very simple. If you can put a beneficiary on your assets, life insurance, bank accounts, your IRA, your 401k, 403b, all of those things, it bypasses the probate process because it goes right to the beneficiary or beneficiaries you've named, your spouse or your 2 children, 50-50, or your 3 kids, 1/3 each, however you do it. That's one of the main ways we help people avoid probate. And then, of course, when we do trusts, because you can't put a beneficiary on your house per se, but if you put your house or any other property you own into a trust, that bypasses probate. And again, that's an easy way to help people avoid this court process that can get really cumbersome.
Yeah, and that way, I think easy's probably the term most people would want for their assets to be passed on when they're not here.
Yes.
There are so many more questions. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but I know our listeners will have the time to call you guys and set up an appointment. That's the easy way to learn more about this and make things easier with this. As you can hear, it's complicated. That's why Stamm Law Firm is here to help you out. They're focused on providing personal attention to all of their clients, the attention you deserve to help with all the legal needs. To find out more about all the areas of practice, including estate planning, trusts, asset protection, and so much more, head to the website stammlaw.com. Give them a call. Set up a consultation, 631-5767. They have offices located in Williamsville and Clarence for your convenience.